Hi, my name is Pavel Sankovic, and today we will talk about FEMA's Public Assistance Grant Program. The main mission of the Public Assistance Program is to provide help, mitigation for example, for the state and local governments and private non-profit organizations right after the major disaster or emergency, so the local government can quickly respond for the disaster and have faster recovery. You can see that the diagram shows 4 building blocks of eligibility. FEMA determines if the various components are eligible for disaster assistance. We have different types of eligible applicants for the public assistance program. If an organization meets the requirements of one of the types, the applicant may be eligible to receive federal disaster assistance. This can be state government agencies, local governments, local city, village, town of any state that includes any rural community. Also can be eligible private non-profit organizations like colleges, universities, utility or hospitals. An eligible facility can be any building, works or system that owned by an eligible public or private non-profit applicant. After the facility become eligible, they also need to be eligible for funding and disaster recovery. They should be located within a designated disaster area and have the legal responsibility of an eligible applicant. After a preliminary damage assessment, applicant will wait for some time, because at first they will go through the cycle of bureaucratic process, and finally, if eligible, FEMA approve and process funding for the disaster recovery project for the organization or local government. And it's worth it. This is a very effective program. For example, after 2012 Hurricane Sandy, more than $2.1 billion in federal aid has been approved to reimburse state, local and tribal governments for Sandy-related response and recovery effort in New York 1 year after the storm. In New York, more than 2,700 grants have been approved. FEMA's Cost Share Public Assistance Program repaid 90% of eligible costs. The remaining 10% comes from non-federal funds. The state forwards the federal reimbursement for the eligible local governments or organizations that incurred costs. After major disaster like Hurricane Sandy, for example, it's often too expensive for the local government to cover all the cost of recovery and hard to respond effectively. The program calls Grant Assistance Program because the federal government provides financial help. The federal share of assistance is not less than 75% of eligible cost for emergency measure and permanent restoration. FEMA's Public Assistance Program helps many private organizations and local governments to handle the situation and stay successful even after biggest disaster. Thank you.